Hey, this is Annie Cardone, and today is a video that I didn't know whether I should actually go ahead and do it because it's kind of like a little bit of tough love, which I give myself a lot. But the subject of this one is what to do if we get into victim mode. Now, when you have a mental health illness, or whether it's diagnosed or whether it isn't, it leaves you feeling that something is wrong with you, that you're not the same as everybody else, that you're not normal. And this can be really painful and have a devastating effect. It can make actually your mental health even worse. Now, I was diagnosed with menopausal bipolar, which basically means menopausal bipolar type 1, which means that I can go into mania, I can have psychotic breaks, I have had a few, I've been sectioned over the last 10 years, 4 times. And I've worked really, really hard to get on top of that. But I've worked even harder on trying to hide it. It has been exhausting. It's not something I would wish on my worst enemy. And I really get it. If you are suffering with bipolar disorder, my heart goes out to you because it is horrific. And similarly, any mental health issue, whether you want to label it one as not, whether you want to, whatever you want to call it, I have a struggle with the label. I really do, because the label to me means that I am unwell. Apparently there's no cure for what I have, bipolar type 1, there's no cure. I have a life expectancy, or most people do with this illness, of about 67. I'm 60 right now, so that's great. I've got 7 years. But then I think the difference is, for me, I didn't end up, fortunately, ever going down the road of so many people who unfortunately have got into drugs and got into drinking and found that was their only answer and the only way to cope. Because quite frankly, the help we do have out there is pretty abysmal. So the goal is to have, for everybody, is to have optimum mental health, optimum physical health, optimum mental health. And it doesn't always life doesn't pan out that way. Some people unfortunately get very ill physically, and some people also get very ill with their mental health. It really doesn't help the stigma that's attached to it. This is why I make these videos. This is why I raise awareness. This is why I openly talk about my mental illness and my mental health. But I also want to talk about the solutions to it as well. And I'll definitely get to that in a minute. But you know, the goal for every single person is to survive well and to, you know, really be able to earn a good living, support our families, have friends, be included. That's all we really want, is to be included. And when we're not, that can be very painful. I've experienced it myself, and I'm sure many of you have too. Because, and this is what happens. This is the problem. This is the ruin of the whole situation. Other people are afraid of people with mental health problems. Yeah, we all have them. How funny is that? Other people are just better at disguising it sometimes. Some of us have no choice. We have gone through situations where we have no control of ourselves, of our mind. For me, it was through sleep deprivation. After 4 or 5 nights of zero sleep, I would go into sleep psychosis. And then I would be given sometimes things like Ambien, a sleep medication, which I'm highly allergic to, and it would make me hallucinate. So then I'd end up in a psychiatric ward because I'm hallucinating on Ambien, which is what the doctor has given me. So it was a catch-22. It was I nearly lost my life several times. I've nearly died through this illness. And it is something I am vigilant about. My space, my life, how I set it up, the people around me. You know, I'm very, very careful. And The goal for me is to live a life as well as possible. Now, I'm really fortunate. Some others are not so lucky, but I'm very fortunate. In my episodes are few and far between. And I mainly have gone through this with only having to take hormone replacement therapy, because mine is very much connected to my endocrine issues through menopause. Of course, I've seen many doctors, I've seen many psychiatrists, and their answer for me has been medication. And I recently had some feedback about, I did some research on some medication, and lithium, which is diagnosed for bipolar disorder and is the main go-to drug of choice for doctors to prescribe, can actually kill you. It can give you a heart attack. I mean, you can die on this drug. You have to be monitored. You have to have your blood work done on a weekly, monthly basis. It is serious. If the lithium levels get too high, you're dead. I had a friend who, his wife was put on lithium during menopause, and she ended up taking a higher dose than she was meant to, and she died. And that is, to me, not a solution. I will not take a prescription medication where the side effects could kill me. That's not a solution for me. So I refuse to go down that. And what that means is that if I have an episode, when I have an episode, you know, I'm now really prepped. I know what the triggers are, when it's coming, how long it's going to last, and what I need to do. And most of the time, what I need to do is isolate, be quiet, because it's actually triggered by stress, overwhelm, death of a loved one, grief. I know exactly when it's coming, and so do my loved ones, so does my husband, and so does my family, and and my best friend, and they say, Annie, you're speeding up a bit. This is an indicator. And then I take care of myself. The problem is that this label, this system, and having a mental health illness can very much leave you in victim mode. And it can give you lots of reasons why you can't do something. So for me, it might be, well, I can't work out because the dopamine spikes can trigger an episode. So I can't do strenuous workouts. So, you know, I can't be in situations that cause me a lot of anxiety. I don't want to go out of my area of comfort. I don't want to fly because actually jet lag can trigger an episode. Infections, chest infections or UTIs or any kind of infection in the body will trigger an episode for me. So I know really, really well. And I manage it extremely well. I function at a very high level, and I refuse to go down the road and down the path of, oh, poor me, I'm a victim. You know, I live with it. I'm positive about it. I talk about it. I'm open about it. But that's not true for everybody. So I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying that we have, you know, it's not difficult and challenging and life-threatening, but we cannot go emotionally into a bad place about it. We have to be strong. We have to get up. We have to get out. We have to push through our fears, and we have to go and meet people, even if it's causing us anxiety. Because the alternative is that our world retracts and it gets smaller. And I don't want that to happen to me. I want to live a full and wonderful life, and I'm sure you do. And one thing I've really learned is to go where I'm wanted. So if I know that I'm going into somewhere that is a safe, loving, kind place, that is accepting of people who might have mental health challenges, then I'm comfortable. If I'm going into somewhere where it's met by judgment or people who treat me badly, then that used to make me really sad. Now it just really makes me angry, because no one has the right to treat you poorly because of your mental health. And if the world was a little bit, you know, more understanding, a little bit more knowledgeable, and there was more information out there, then this wouldn't be happening. So the solution for me is to make these kind of videos, is to talk to everybody, is to I'm completely open. I tell everybody, hey, I don't walk in and say, hey, I'm Annie Cardone and I have bipolar disorder, because I won't be labelled. But I will, if somebody asks me about my videos, I'm open to be approached, I'm happy to share. But what I'm not happy and what I won't tolerate is people who judge me, and nor should you. It's not okay. And again, as I've said in my other videos, we all have mental health, but we have to really, really be careful about who we're around and what we do and where we go. And we can set our life up to work really, really well. My father was a brilliant engineer, and he had manic depression, which is now under the bipolar disorder label. That's what happened. They relabeled manic depression and called it bipolar. And it's such a broad spectrum, you know, so it's quite difficult. But my father was on lithium for 18 years and it was horrific. Now, when he went into his episodes, unfortunately, he was sectioned, and he was then given 12 rounds of electroshock therapy that left him drooling in a bed, unable to speak, his memory shot to pieces. And that is the solution psychiatry has for people like me and for people like you. So we have to be really, really careful. You know, it's easy for others to say, oh, you know, take the medication, oh, go to the doctors, oh, go to the hospital when you're having an episode. But I am in more danger sometimes going into a hospital than I am staying at home. So we have to be careful and we have to protect ourselves. So that's my 2 pieces of advice. Don't be a victim. Don't stop doing what you love. Be around people that love, care and support you, and trust your instincts. Now, the other thing I'm really, really big on is educating ourselves. There is a wealth of information now available online, on the internet about bipolar, and I have done so much research. And, you know, when I realized that bipolar mania is actually just you have a chemical imbalance and your dopamine is too high. So things that you love to do that are a little bit addictive, like spending too much time on social media, or which is difficult for me because I'm in marketing, or if you are a gamer, then doing that's not really very good for you, or working out too much, or if you're a work addict. So anything that gives you that spike could be a trigger. So that's something that I learned just by literally going online, and I was actually looking up some of the medication alternatives that are prescribed to people. I'm not against anyone taking medication for their physical health, and I'm not against anyone doing whatever they need to do to stay alive. What I'm against is how giant pharma and psychiatry abuse people like us and over-medicate, because it really is guesswork. It's a question of, hey, try this, see how it goes, get back to us if you're still alive, and we'll let you know if we should up your dose. And it is Russian roulette. So be conscious, be careful. If you're prescribed medication, Google it, look it up, read the side effects. Talk to your doctor about it, talk to your family about it, make conscious decisions. And go where you're wanted. You don't need to put yourself through trying to be normal, trying to fit in like I did for so many years, because I know I'm good enough. I know I'm a beautiful human being who's kind and considerate and caring and helps others. And I know you are too. So do not be upset if you're let down by others, because it's pure ignorance and it's actually abusive. Some people are very abusive when they find out you have a mental health condition, and don't tolerate it. Set your boundaries. That's my chat today. I hope it helps you, and I will just keep spreading the word. Take care.